Howdy. It's a great Sunday afternoon, a little bit rainy here in the Ville, and it rains for a little bit and it quits. It rains a little bit and it quits. Me and Brett's been talking about dragging our feet on things and not getting stuff done in a timely manner, making me think about, oh yeah, procrastinating. Never a good thing. I was saying putting off till tomorrow the things you should be doing today. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that lately. Missed the last couple of days. I've been so busy I just hadn't had a chance to sit down and do a video, so I told him, I said, I gotta get something on. Because I don't think, a couple of days I guess, since I've done one. Kind of run out of things to say there for a little bit. You know, when you do the same thing every day, it's kind of hard to think of something different to say or different view to talk about. But the raindrops keep reminding me of the rain falls, and even, you know, Scripture tells us the rain falls on the just and the unjust. The raindrops are the same. Whether it's falling on a dry ground, or if it's falling in a water puddle, the raindrop's the same. How wet it is the same. But the thing that it falls on, that's what makes the difference. In a ground that's already been rained on and it's got water puddles on it, the raindrop is seen as, oh me, not again. But on the ground that's dry, the raindrop is seen as refreshing and much needed. That's the way sometimes I think life can be. Depending on our situation and what we're going through, is the things that's going on around us raindrops on a muddy ground or refreshing raindrops in a dry desert? Is that advice somebody wants to give us refreshing, or do we feel like we're being beat down? Sometimes good advice helps, but sometimes people with good intentions give bad advice. And we have to discern, I guess you could say, what we want to listen to and what we don't. I was reminded today of things can get overwhelming if we let them. But when we stop and we take time and let the Lord lead our directions, His raindrops are refreshing. Even if it's been a steady drizzling rain, if God's pouring it in you, it's refreshing. And sometimes He pours a lot on us, getting us ready for something that He knows is coming down the road. He gives us what we need to help others and to be successful ourselves. Oftentimes I ask God to pour in me what it is He wants to pour through me. And I'm reminded this today, be a funnel. A funnel God can use to pour into someone else. Whether it's a student at school, a colleague at work, a stranger on the street, a family member, or someone I sit in the pew with at church. Well, we have chairs. Be willing to be used by God to change and to make a difference. Because if we stop, and we stop allowing God to use us, He still pours out on us. It's kind of like that piece of metal that you sit outside. First, the rain washes the dirt away, but over time, it'll rust because it didn't move. God will keep pouring out on us. But if we refuse to move, what is He pouring in us? If we don't share it with others, then what does that do with what God's given us? Once heard a message. Guy said, to not share what God gave me, I feel like a thief, because I robbed from God the blessing He meant for someone else. At least that's how I remember it. Not exactly sure what he said. That's how I remember him talking about God giving him things and sharing with him and giving him a word or giving him an ability. And if all he did was keep it to himself, then he felt like he was robbing God because he didn't share the blessings of the Lord with someone else. That was the reason he was sharing the word that particular day. Because it was a rough one. I can't remember exactly now what it was on, but it was about being a better Christian and about growing closer to God. And a few times I felt like I got a good swift kick in the hind end, but he said, this is what the Lord gave me, and I feel like if I kept it to myself, I would be robbing God of the glory. God pours into us. We can become stagnant water that does nothing. Or we can be a flowing river. Reminds me of the Disney movie Pocahontas. She was referencing something her father said about the steady river. He goes, but she starts to sing this song. She says, but you don't step in the same water twice. And I never really paid attention to that until one day I was just watching it. The movie, I was watching Disney cartoons from when my children were little. I get those kinks every once in a while, relive childhood. Let's watch some cartoons for a while. And when that was said, I was like, Lord, you're using a Disney movie to get my attention. A flowing river. You don't step in. You can step in the same spot every day, but you won't step in the same water. Because a flowing river, the water's always moving. God's like, that's how you are when you step into me. I'm a flowing river. You may come into me at the same spot every day, but what I have for you is not always the same. Even though it looks the same, and it flows the same, it's not the same. Because God's mercies are new every day. And it's not the same. It's new and refreshing every day. Because He says He's a river of flowing river of water. Flowing. That's what makes us special. That's what makes us unique. Because we belong to a God with living water. We have the living water flowing through us. We're His funnels to reach those who don't understand. All you got to do is step into the water. And don't be afraid. Because there's somebody there helping you, believing in you, and knowing you can succeed. Because sometimes that's all anybody ever needs is someone to say, I believe in you. God bless.